What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Schmitty here with Schmitty's MLB Picks 2022 Wild Card Edition. I am fired up for the postseason getting underway today. Let's get after it. It's an exciting time. The MLB's first ever Wild Card Series weekend is here, and it is going to be electric. All four matchups are just absolutely incredible. I couldn't have drawn it up any better, and I am absolutely fired up to just tune in as a fan, honestly. And we're gonna put some bets down as well. So today I'm coming at you with my picks for Game One, series predictions, and we'll even fill out the bracket here together, and it is just going to be so much fun. I'm almost at a loss of words because I'm just ready to sit back and enjoy these games because I know that they are going to be incredible, and it's honestly really tough to predict what is going to happen. But I try to do it. Gonna try to do my best and give you guys what I'm thinking and how I think things are gonna shake up. I don't. It's hard to have the crystal ball come playoff time. Anything can happen, and all of these teams are absolutely. All of these teams deserve to be here. Let's put it that way. So we will get to it, of course. Starting off, follow me on Twitter at the Ethan Schmidt and check us out at Guy Boston Sports on Twitter, of course. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video with your friends. It's postseason baseball time, so let's get after it. And just some more housekeeping. If you guys haven't checked out the community tab about the giveaway, we're giving away a free NFL jersey. It is football season as well. NFL season, team and player of your choosing for hitting 11,000 subscribers. We couldn't do it without you guys. So we are giving back, and ballers get 2 entries in the giveaway. So keep that in mind, but you can go check out all of that info on the community tab for the giveaway, and you must enter by the end of Monday. So get those submissions in. And of course, before I give you guys my picks, drop your hashtag ride of the day in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys for all 4 games each and every day here this postseason. I'm going to break down Game 1 here today and then give my series predictions. And then we will be back, of course, on Saturday and Sunday with the new lines and recap what happened in Game 1 and Game 2, etc. And then and go with new picks if we have to. But let's get things started here. I'm ready to rock. Guys, our first matchup of the day of the wild card weekend, we have the 6th-seeded Tampa Bay Rays coming out of the AL East, taking on the 3rd-seeded Cleveland Guardians in Cleveland. And it's an early one here, 12 Eastern start. Surprising. I wonder who took off work in Cleveland to attend the game here today. But it is going to be an exciting one. We have, for the first matchup, on the mound for the Rays is going to be Shane McClanahan, the lefty. He had Cy Young potential here this season. Definitely fell off toward the end of the year. He struggled to end the season with 3 straight losses. So this one, and then on the other side, matching up with him is going to be Shane Bieber. And Shane Bieber actually did really well down the stretch, I would say. And he's definitely looked pretty sharp, and he is easily the ace here for this Cleveland Guardians team. So for Game 1, what I looked at when I broke down these series, especially these Game 1 matchups, I looked at the home and away records for each team. Of course, that was a great place to start. And then, of course, looking at splits for each of the starting pitchers for each of these games. And then how these teams performed going into the postseason, I thought was a huge deal. And especially the pitchers, how they were doing going into the season. But for Game 1 here, I am going to rock with the Cleveland Guardians on the money line, minus 125. All of these odds are going to be courtesy of DraftKings. They have all the futures on there. Go check it out. Of course, plenty of great options or great looks on there, and so much you can bet on for the MLB wildcard weekend. So that's what I'm on. I'm on DraftKings unless I'm doing combo parlays, and then I like to do that on FanDuel. But I digress. The over 5.5. This line dropped to 5.5, and for me, I know everyone expects this to be a low scoring affair, especially this entire series. But I am not taking an under 5.5. I'm sorry, you just can't get me to do it. I know you guys, again, you can love me or fade me. Good thing we have all the fade me gear at GuyBostonSports.com/store. But we're going to have a positive day today. And I like the over 5.5 just because there's so much potential with these offenses. Obviously, we talked about it. Shane McClanahan coming into the postseason not very hot. And I know people are going to say, hey, the Guardians can't hit lefties worth diddly. But I don't think that was the case, especially down the stretch here at the end of the season. The Guardians are red hot coming into the postseason, and the Rays just they actually didn't play well. We were trying to take the Rays money line at plus money in the series, the regular season finale, but the Rays actually struggled against Boston, and I don't know if that was just a culmination of them resting guys or taking it easy going into the postseason, but. I think that if anybody has a chance to put up runs here, Cleveland can do it on McClanahan, but then the Rays can turn around and get a few runs on Bieber. So I don't like taking it under 5.5. That's just me, but that's my pick there. And then leading to our series predictions, scheduled to be on the mound for these guys, if I can find it again, for this first series. Obviously, we talked about McClanahan and Bieber in Game 1. Tyler Glasnow is projected to go in Game 2 for the Rays. Tristan McKenzie on the other side for the Guardians. And then Corey Kluber and Cal Quantrill in Game 3 are your projected starters. So my series prediction, I am going with the Cleveland Guardians to win this series 2-1 at plus 260. I think that the Guardians are going to win this one, and they're going to break the spell that is on the AL Central, getting into the ALCS to take on they would, with the bracket, they would take on the Yankees. So I like the Guardians to advance here, and I say 2-1 because I'm not going to count Tampa Bay out here. I'm not going to count them out, especially in Game 2. We already picked the Guardians to win Game 1, so I think that the Rays have a lot of potential to win Game 2. But then Corey Kluber on the road in Game 3 against Cal Quantrill has been lights out at home. He has a dominating home record for the Guardians this year. If it comes down to Game 3, I'm riding with the Guardians. So, these series, it's going to be tough to. These series predictions are going to be long shots. Tail responsibly. Do what you have to do, but that's what I think is going to happen, is that if the Rays can steal one, they'll either be here in Game 1 or Game 2, but I do like Cleveland in Game 1, and then if it comes down to Game 3, I'm backing the Guardians. On to the next series. Spent probably too much time on the first series, so we'll go faster here. We have in the NL, the 6th-seeded Philadelphia Phillies are headed to St. Louis here today to face off against the Cardinals. The number 3 seed entering the postseason. And for Game 1 here today is going to be Zach Wheeler, the right-hander on the mound. He finished the season with a 2.82 ERA, going up against the lefty Jose Quintana, who finished the season with a 2.93 ERA. And now in this one, this is going to be a toss-up here today. I can't lie. But again, like I said, we looked at it. Philadelphia came into the postseason with a sub 500 record on the road, 40-41. However, they finished this series, this season series, 4-3 against the Cardinals. So this is definitely a pick'em series, and the problem is that the Cardinals should dominate this one. They've been dominant at home all year long, 53-28 record at home for the St. Louis Cardinals. But the thing is the pitching matchups here. Obviously, Philly is going to have Wheeler here in Game 1, and then Aaron Nola on the mound in Game 2. So the Phillies, if they don't steal one in Game 1 or Game 2, well, obviously if they don't get one at all, it's over. The Cardinals advance 2-0 with the wild card series sweep. But with Wheeler and Nola, they are really banking on to stealing one of these games or getting one of these games here to move it to game 3. But the problem is Ranger Suarez is the projected starter in game 3 against the left-hander Jordan Montgomery. I trust Montgomery way more than I trust Ranger Suarez, especially at home for the Cardinals. Wheeler had a bad August, to be honest with you, but he really cleaned it up in his last 3 games to close out the season. Pitched much better ball. He's decent against the Cardinals this year. So this one, I am going to take the Cardinals money line because Jose Quintana, I think he can be trusted just enough. But we've got this Cardinals offense at home. They didn't come into the postseason as hot as I'm sure they would like to be, but the Phillies, they were on a downslide. They were lucky that the Milwaukee Brewers were somehow way worse than them entering in the postseason chase, and the Phillies were just able to hang on and claw their way better than the Brewers were able to do. But I'm going to take the Cardinals money line, and it's because I don't trust the Phillies bullpen. If Wheeler has to come out after 6 or 7 innings, I think we could see some late inning magic from the Cardinals if it's a close game or if they're down by a run or 2. But I also like the under 7 in this one just because I think Wheeler and Quintana can hold it down for both sides. And then the Cardinals bullpen isn't too bad. But moving on to the series prediction, I am going to take the Cardinals to win this series 2-1 at plus 215. And the reasoning behind this series prediction is because I just picked the Cardinals to win game 1, but I see Philly stealing game 2 because Miles Mikolas is the projected starter for game 2 for the Cardinals, and I don't trust him at all. I think the Phillies could get to him easily, and Aaron Nola has pitched very well here down the stretch, entering the postseason. Arguably, the Phillies ace. So I think they could steal game 2, but then, like I said, Montgomery is the better pitcher in game 3, and the Cardinals should be able to shore this one up at home. Moving on to the third series of Wild Card Weekend, we have the 5th-seeded Seattle Mariners headed to the 6th to take on the 4th-seeded Toronto Blue Jays, and this is going to be a whale of a series. This series is going to be immaculate. I'm excited for this one. I tweeted that this could probably be the best series of the postseason, but in the first game, we have Alek Manoah going on the mound at home, 7-4 record at home, and he's matching up with Luis Castillo. And the thing is here, I just trust Alek Manoah more. Luis Castillo, we've seen him have his really great moments this year, and we've seen him struggle at times this year. So I'm taking the Blue Jays money line, minus 130 in game 1. I think Alek Manoah, he's got a chip on his shoulder. He's ready to come out and pitch a dominant performance here today. And this offense should be able to back him up. Castillo can give up the deep ball sometimes. So that leads me to the over 7. I think that either of these offenses can get to one another in this series. And looking at the lineups here today for Seattle, you guys know I love Julio Rodriguez. He's going to lead off every game for Seattle. But then Springer, Bichette, Guerrero, Kirk, they even got Jansen in the lineup. And Danny Jansen has just been the secret weapon, I feel like, on the back end of this lineup for Toronto. And if this was Seattle as the home team, my opinion would be totally different. But the fact that the Blue Jays are at home, I'm going to rock with Toronto here to advance the series prediction. I'm taking the Blue Jays 2-1. We're going to see. This is probably just a fan in me. I'm looking for these series to be extended. But plus 200 for the Blue Jays to win 2-1. The reasoning behind this pick is because looking at the projected starters, Robbie Ray and Kevin Gausman are projected to go in game 2. Not sure if Gausman would be it, but I know the Blue Jays are not wanting to put some guy like Mitch White out there. So we'll see what happens. But the issue is that Robbie Ray, I don't think he's as good on the road. And also, he has a tendency, he either is lights out or he gets blasted. And being on the road, again, this makes me like the Blue Jays. But if I know we've taken the Blue Jays today, but if they're able to steal one, it would be in game one or game two. Kevin Gausman has not been very good at home this season. And then if Castillo just somehow comes out and shoves here today and the Mariners are able to steal game one, I think it will come down to a third game. And the starters would be Logan Gilbert and Jose Barrios. And I just personally think that Toronto should be able to handle business here at home. If you did want to take an upset of the weekend, Seattle, I couldn't sway you off of Seattle, honestly. I really liked what they've been able to do. Congratulations to them, ending the longest postseason drought in the MLB, over 20 years. But I like Toronto at home, again, like I said. So we will move on to the final series of the weekend. We have the 5th-seeded Padres taking on the 4th-seeded Mets in New York at Citi Field. And this is going to be another fantastic matchup on the mound today. Yu Darvish facing off against Mad Max Scherzer. And in this one, I just really like the Mets today. I think Scherzer is going to turn it on. He's going to turn it up to 11 here for the postseason, going up against Yu Darvish, who we know the problems with Darvish on the road. He's not the same guy on the road. And I really like this Mets lineup against Yu Darvish here today. Especially, we got Nimmo, Lindor, McNeil, Alonso. Obviously, Sterling Marte has been out for the Mets, but P. Alonso, Eduardo Escobar, my guy, I think he could pull up and have a clutch postseason moment. We saw him be clutch down the stretch for New York. Canna, Nakin, Nito, just some outstanding hitters in the Mets lineup, but that's not to take away from the Padres lineup. I mean, obviously, Soto, Machado, Cronenworth, Drury, those guys have been piping the ball. But this one, it's just a matter of the pitching matchup. I think Mad Max has one of those vintage performances here today. And if anything, I see the Mets putting up some runs. So that's why I'm taking the over 6. I could see this being like a 5-2 kind of game in favor of the Mets here in game one. And that's my pick here. We will move on to the series prediction, and I think that the Mets win this. They sweep this series, plus 155 odds, because they have their aces going. And Scherzer and DeGrom will start game 2 against Joe Musgrove. And Joe Musgrove didn't necessarily finish the season the way as he should have as a possible Cy Young candidate. So I really trust DeGrom and Scherzer to get it done here. That's just me. Again, love me or fade me. The first sweep we are taking of the 2022 wildcard weekend is going to be the Mets to win 2-0. So that leads us to the NLCS. The NLDS would be obviously the Mets matching up against the Cardinals based off our prediction. Or I'm crazy. I'm not making any sense. We'll pull up the bracket here so we can make a little more sense of it, because I'm not making sense. That's for sure. Oh my goodness gracious. Your boy is struggling. Okay, here we go. This is what I wanted. Okay, beautiful. Let's take a look at our bracket. We'll get this off of here. Okay, there we go. Again, I told you guys I'd feel like a grandpa on here. Looking at the bracket, so we have the Mets winning, and they would be taking on the Dodgers. And then the Cardinals winning, they'd be taking on the Braves. Obviously, the Braves and the Dodgers would get a home field advantage in the NL. And then the AL, the Astros will match up with the Blue Jays based on our prediction. And then the Yankees and the Guardians going at it. And now, this was my prediction for the NLCS. The Braves and the Dodgers are going to advance past the divisional series. Again, just because of home field advantage. That's how I feel. These two teams have dominated at home all season long. And then I really just like what the Braves and Dodgers have done all year. They deserve to be in the NLCS. It is going to be one hell of a series if these two match up in the championship series. So that's what I think is going to happen. But I do like the Dodgers to win. I do like the Dodgers to advance here because just because again the Dodgers are going to have home field advantage. That number one seed was critical this year, very very critical in my opinion. And I know everybody says the Dodgers choke, but I think that they are going to the World Series this year. They've just been that dominant. They have all the right tools, and they just don't seem like a team that's destined to fail this year like in years past. So the NLCS, I have the Yankees and the Astros. If I was gonna get my dark horse of the postseason is the Cleveland Guardians. I made a tweet about this probably about a month ago that the Guardians are a real dark horse, and they got to take on the Yankees though, and the Yankees are going to get home field, and I just think it's absolutely critical in this postseason. I know you guys can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but I think that the home field is everything in this postseason this year. So the Yankees should be able to take down Cleveland with that home field advantage, and then I think the Astros sweep in the ALDS, whoever they take on, just because the Astros have been absolutely outstanding this year. They have the pitching, they have the hitting, and again, at home at Minute Maid Park, they're dominant. I like what they're going to be able to do. So that leads me to the World Series. We are rocking with the Astros and the Dodgers in the World Series, and this one was a really tough pick for me. You guys know I really like the Dodgers. I think they're determined this year, but the Astros are going to come in, and I think that this Astros team, there's just something about them where they're going to be able. This is going to be the matchup of the century, but the Astros are going to be able to get it done against the Dodgers. Give me the Houston Astros as your 2022 World Series champs this year. I think that they definitely have a great shot at getting this done. We'll look at the odds real quick for winning the World Series. I'll pull it up for you guys. Team futures on DraftKings, the Astros plus 425, if you can see that. So that's what I'm rocking with. The Astros and the Dodgers did not play this season, so you can't really get a good evaluation there. But I just think the Astros are that sneaky team where they're going to be able to get those wins on the road. They're going to be the team that is able to surpass being behind the eight ball in the home field advantage category against the Dodgers, and they could get some wins on the road in LA. Well, that will do it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I can point you guys in the right direction here. Really appreciate you guys, of course. Don't forget your hashtag bride of the day here today. Your boy Schmidty coming at you with the heat. I'm going to pop all this on Twitter. Follow me at the Ethan Schmidt. And of course, if you guys hit big at all, if you like my picks, always taking extra support at the Cash App, BigESchmidty. We love you guys. Thank you so much again for 11,000 subscribers. It is going to be a great weekend of sports, and I'm just pumped up for these matchups no matter what happens. But again, my name's Ethan Schmidt. We'll see you guys tomorrow for Game 2 predictions. Peace out.